Hi, just want to go a little deeper in our last teaching. That was in John 8, verse 9 to 11. The accusers heard that the one who is without sin should cast the first stone. They slipped away, one by one, leaving only Jesus, the one who never sinned, by the way, the woman, and the crowd. You can almost hear the rocks landing on the stone pavement. Have you dropped your stone yet? Luke 6, 27 and 28. Be the one to pray for those who mistreat you. Jesus took it to the far wall, saying, bless and pray for your enemies, for those who would curse you. James 3, verse 2. For if we could control the tongue, we would be perfect and control ourselves in every way. James 3:11. Sometimes it praises our Lord and Father, and sometimes it curses those who have been made in God's image. This ought to not be. Verse 10, so blessings and curses flow from the same mouth. Proverbs 13, verse 3, those who control their tongues will have a long life. Proverbs 17, verse 9, love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. And the enemy will always supply words to fire back at someone. You have to ignore him because he's trying to stir up the pot. Starting a quarrel is like opening a floodgate, so stop a dispute before it breaks out. Matthew 7:24. Jesus is the solid foundation. Read through Matthew chapter 7 and chapter 6 as well. Jesus is the solid foundation, saying those who listen to my teachings are wise builders, building on a solid rock. So when the storms come, your house will not collapse. The storms will come. Many times in the Psalms, Jesus is called a rock. So be a producer of good fruit. Luke 6, verse 43. A good tree cannot produce bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot produce good fruit. A tree is identified by its fruit. A good person, in like manner, produces good things from the treasures of a good heart. What you say flows from the heart. Weed out gossip, unforgiveness, don't misjudge, use discernment, remove all unforgiveness, and pull out all roots of bitterness. If roots of bitterness set in, that's a harder task, but pull them out. Step up higher on the rock so you can see more clearly, and forgive yourself, by the way. For if you've asked Jesus, he's already forgiven you. Put that all to rest. I close with 1 Samuel 16, verse 7. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. Remember to place all your concerns and cares at the feet of Jesus. He cares for you. He's the rock of my salvation.